Matheus, Lutes.
I was wrong about the break, though. We're going right into the second round.
Right into the semifinals with the under 76 kilogram division. We're going to have M.Lutes versus Augusto A.Mendes here. Very excited for this match. Both of these guys have very similar games. It's going to be a battle of who can get on top.
The first round was a bit ridiculous on paper. Like, everyone was so closely matched. But this second round,
yeah, it gets even more close.
I just can't even believe it.
At this point, especially in this lighter division, I have no predictions for the final at this point. I think the winner of this may go on to win the whole division, though. Both of these guys are very hard to score on, very tough games. I'm interested to see what strategies they have for each other, saying that they both have a very close game.
Lutes definitely being the bigger of the two competitors, but also a brown belt.
Yeah, Lutes has had a very active this past year. He fought in a couple Kasai events and has been doing a lot of other small super fight events, so he's been very active, whereas Tanquinho has been pretty much the opposite, where he's only done very few events the past year or so.
Yeah, just getting back into pure jiu-jitsu from MMA.
Yeah.
But training in the gi all the while.
Yeah, I've seen him training with a lot of guys, a lot of UFC fighters, actually. He was sparring in the room with, I believe, Korean Zombie came to training with him. Yep. And I saw on Instagram before he left, he was with Sean O'Malley, who's a UFC fighter.
Who trains under him, yeah.
He's been training with a lot of UFC fighters and helping them out.
Yeah, he's got a great gym out there in Glendale, Arizona. Lutes winning purple belt worlds in the gi and no gi.
Yes, and I believe he's medaled or come close to medaling at brown belt.
Oh, and
very strong takedown from Lutes. Tanquinho scrambles right back up to the feet here.
And now working on this crucifix, which he has. Tanquinho turned around immediately, though. Look at how quick.
Very nice scramble there. It's crazy how there was no points, just an advantage out of that.
That is nuts.
What's tricky about that is why Lutes got up so quick from the crucifix, because he doesn't want to be on his back in this matchup. Neither guy wants to be on their back. So even though he would have scored the advantage and have been winning, he didn't want to end up on his back. So he scrambled right to the feet when he lost the arm on the crucifix. Tanquinho maybe a little bit more careful with that right hand because he got dragged into the throw last time.
Which is a strategy you'll see implemented much more often at medium heavy and above, because the power to weight ratio is it gets to be a little bit more difficult for the bottom person. But at these lower weight divisions, even middleweight, it starts to get blurry at middleweight, but lower than that, man, usually you'll see a lot of double guard pulls because people want to be on the bottom because they're so strong compared to the size of their
opponent. It's very refreshing from this division to see this kind of action going on, especially with the smaller guys. They have a lot more energy, a lot more explosiveness for their size, a lot more athleticism, so it's interesting to see.
Yeah, I love it when smaller guys are proficient with passing. It's a beautiful jiu-jitsu game. Here we got a power grip from Tanquinho, resets. Looks like double collar, maybe?
Yeah, he had a double collar, switched it to a collar sleeve, a high grip on the elbow. Now he's switching back to the low sleeve. I think he's just trying to be a little more careful with his grips than he did initially. He's down an advantage here. They both have.
Lutes with some good stand-up.
Yeah, very explosive, very good takedowns here. I think he was training for this match a little bit, you could tell. Most of the guys he fights are going to pull or try to wrestle right away, but Tanquinho's very strategic, so I think he was preparing for this.
Drops down for that single. Tanquinho does not let him have it. As I mentioned earlier, it was really interesting for me to hear that most of the competitors in this division named Tanquinho as the #1 competitor that they expected to see in the semifinals or the finals.
Yeah, I believe that was just due to his previous accomplishments and his experience over a lot of the other competitors in the division.
But look at them as they stand up, and you can see Lutes is not the tallest by far in this division, and he has a decided height advantage over Tanquinho.
Yeah, definitely. That's pretty crazy. And Lutes bouncing around from middle or lightweight, definitely has the size advantage here. Tanquinho trying to work a little foot sweep in there.
Lutes up 1-0. 3 minutes left to go.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see a lot more effort from Tanquinho in the second half of this match to try to get that advantage back or even get some points on the board. He's been a little bit careful since he got taken down earlier, but he may be starting to pick the pace back up. He's reaching for the low collar grips a lot. Maybe he's even thinking about pulling.
The winner of this will go on to the finals of this division, and they will face the winner of Caixinho versus Levi Jones, which we will see next. Interesting to see this match nearly completely take place on the feet.
Yeah, definitely. This is what I expected, though. Both guys want to be on top. Neither of them are going to pull against each other because they know how strong their passing is.
Tanquinho takes a deep breath. They're just not looking to be as fatigued.
Yeah, he seems to be very comfortable. He hasn't done a whole lot since he got the big throw earlier in the match. So
now moving along.
Yeah, he's picking it up a little bit. You can see a little bit of the strength advantage as he's snapped Tanquinho down to his knees for a second there.
Which is not something that you say too often when you talk about a Tanquinho match.
Yeah.
Don't say his opponent has a strength advantage.
Yeah, usually in IBJJF, he used to compete in the featherweight division all the time, so he would always be the strongest guy by far in the division. But when you're in a division where it's pretty much lightweight and under, and you have guys cutting from middle, that may change it up a little bit. So it's a little bit of a different feel for him in this division.
Featherweight being your division as well. How would you feel about fighting middleweights?
I train with middleweights in the gym, so it wouldn't be like too much different. It'd definitely be a different experience, though.
Failed takedown attempts.
Yeah, with
They're
that
just trying to get back up, and he does.
At least get the,
trying for the Uchimata out of bounds.
I'm interested to see if, that's going to be an advantage for the slip there.
So that's going to tie everything up.
Yeah, that changes the match a lot. I'm not too sure where I would give it to a little bit.
Oof.
If I had to go advantage versus advantage, Matheus Lutes' advantage was definitely a stronger positioning than Tanquinho, saying that his was from a slip. But both guys are going to be going all out in this last minute.
Yep. Just 1 minute left to go. They're going to restart him back in the center. I think this comes down to who wants it more. Or who can be more precise. The first person to make a mistake is surely going to lose. Losing the grips early is Tanquinho. Tanquinho looks up at the time. Everything dead even on the score.
Yeah, at this point, both guys may be considering just outworking each other if they can, because it took a lot for them to get their advantages. They may just be trying to push. Yeah, you can see a lot of body positioning, just trying to show the aggression that they're going for the win.
Yep, and this is, there is no overtime in this, so this will go to ref's decision.
Oy.
So both of these competitors really want to put on a good show for the judge if there's no score.
Yeah, they're going all out here.
They're going to have them tie the belt.
A short break for the defense. It may actually be better for the match because they're both going to get a little bit of a breath for this last 30-second blitz here. I'm not too sure who I would give the ref's decision to right now. It's very close.
Maybe Lutes just for that last flurry.
Yeah.
Depends on what Tanquinho can do here. Oh, had the cross grip on the inside of the leg.
I would expect one of the two to just go all out on a shot just to try to get a leg, or even jump guard or to go for a flying submission here just to try to get something going at the end of the match.
Quick drop down for the leg from both competitors. Both forehead to forehead, and this is going to be the end of the match.
Yeah, very close matchup with two guys with very close styles, one being more of a veteran and one being a up-and-comer in the sport. So excited to see who's going to get the nod here.
Who would you give this to?
I personally would give it to Matheus Lutes, just weighing who did more. His advantage was a lot more of a strong position, and he had a crucifix attack after that, and even was, I think he was more aggressive towards the match. Yeah, so
all three.
Matheus going to take it.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
2 to 1
on the ref decision there.
Yep. Tenkinyu does not look happy with that.
Yeah, but he has to get ready because unlike IBJJF, he does have another fight for the 3rd place and for the last spot for the qualifier, so he still has to get ready for one more fight.
Yeah, that's a very important match too, because as you're mentioning, the top 3 people will come back in November for the finals of this invitational, so it's really, really important that you make 3rd place.
Yeah, very tough match, but he will have a pretty decent break before his next 3rd place matchup against whoever loses the next match here between Levi and Caixinha.
And here's a little bit of a replay. This one completely taking place on the feet, only down on the mat for a couple of seconds.
Tenkinyu got his advantage. This is slipping from a foot sweep attempt.
This was the recovery and trying to turn it into an Uchimata, but they kept going out of bounds.
Yeah, very tough